Tomenchok, and it is my pleasure to be here with you today on KLVW-TV. This is actually my second invitation to do a show with you. I was here back in February. If some of you watched the show, I was invited on to talk about my children's book, which is called A Breadbasket for Grandma. I was a teacher for 40+ years, and this is stories for children about acceptance of all cultures and being kind and tolerant about everybody in our world. And when I interviewed for that show, it was a great show with Carol. We talked about so many things besides my book, and one of them is what I was moving into in my career in the future. I do early intervention therapy with kids with developmental delays, and I am a disability ministry coordinator for a church in our area. And I just opened a holistic health and wellness center in our area. So after speaking with Carol and Mike and the KLVW-TV team, we decided it would be a great idea to do a couple of follow-up shows called To Your Health. So here's To Your Health. I have some pictures that they're going to pull up on the screen that are a syllabus of what this show will include, and I'm going to go through them one at a time but not talk about them at length, and then we'll refer back to each one as we go. And what I'm hoping is that by the end of the show, you will have some easy self-care tips that you can do at home, and you'll also know a little bit about what I do in my office that you could also come to experience and find new ways, natural ways, to benefit your wellness. So Mike, if you would pull up our first picture, which is called Never Let Go of Your Dreams. So we're going to talk about what my dream was about 10 or 15 years ago, and it's taken that long to make it a reality. And the second picture is what I believe the future of medicine is going to bring for us. My center features frequency and vibration, which is what the scientists are studying to be the future of medicine. Everything in our world is frequency. Our bodies are frequency, our thoughts are frequency, our emotions are frequency, music is frequency, and we're going to talk about how that benefits our wellness. The name of my center is Pure Joy Holistic Health and Wellness, and I do so many things at that center. There's a whole list here, and we're not going to focus on every one, but I hope by the end of this little educational show, you'll know what each one is and possibly be interested in pursuing some of them for your health benefits. So one of the pictures that, yeah, Mike, that's good. The picture that's on the screen now is a picture of one of the rooms in my center. Those massage chairs, tables are called vibro-acoustic sound lounges, and we're going to talk about what they do for you and how you can modify the concept to do some things at home that are beneficial to you. As I said before, I work with kids of all ages. In early intervention, it's children birth to 3, but I work with teens and with adults. The term that's the modern term now is neurodivergent community. And what that means is everybody's at a different place in their development, in their emotions, in their mental capacity, and we need to find a way in our world to work with people at all levels, so we'll be talking about that. And then finally, the final picture just says, did you know that singing 10 minutes a day reduces stress? It can help you relax, and if you stay tuned until the end of the show, I'll be talking about a Harvard University study that just talks about music and you know, how it benefits all of us, our focus. If you have anything that distracts you, ADD, ADHD, just an inability to focus in, how working with frequencies and vibration can help you with that. So let's just talk for a minute about what health is. So I graduated, my first degree, my Bachelor of Science, was in Health and Physical Education, and I taught that in a school that I owned, but also in the public school. So for 27 years, I worked with young children in the preschool and early elementary years, and then for the next 5 to 10 years, I worked in middle schools and high schools, and that was mostly focused on just general health. Afterward, after I left that part of my career, I went to a school in New York called the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and I got health coaching certifications. I did my master's in experiential learning, and then I was fortunate enough to be able to continue on at a holistic natural health school, and I received my PhD in nutrition and natural healing. So what does that mean? It means finding ways that aren't connected to taking medications. And I'm going to stop there for a minute, because this show is not about me preaching a type of wellness that means you should go off any medications. This is about maintaining wellness so we don't wind up at a point where we are really reliant on taking a medication for everything that goes wrong. I need a medication to help me wake up in the morning and focus. I need a medication to slow me down and let me go to sleep at night. And I could go on, but really for the purpose of this show, we're talking about health being a balance of your system, physically, emotionally, socially, and what I have been taught is that balance means our body is in ease. And when you're in ease, everything comes naturally. And we're trying to find ways to stay in that ease position, in that ease place. When things happen in life, and we can't prevent anything from happening in life, from things that make us angry, things that make us sad, things that distress us, traumas that are unexpected. When that happens, we're put in a position of dis-ease. And when we're in dis-ease for a long enough period of time, the things that we hold in our body, the anger, the fear, the sadness, settles in our cells. It settles in our tissues. And this is what I've been taught creates disease. It's a dis-ease of any system in your body that then manifests physically. Sometimes after a period of many, many years, we can be in the dis-ease state and not realize that we are doing ourselves an injustice, because eventually it has to formulate into something physical. And so I'm going to let you know ahead of time that I have all kinds of notes around me, so that if I have a senior moment, and also because it's a lot of information, I'll be referring to some of my notes to let you know the benefits of a lot of things we're talking about. So Mike, if we could flash the first picture back up on the screen to remind everybody that the very first thing I want to talk about is the never let go of your dream part. So 10 years ago, when I began studying holistic health, I realized that we needed a real shift in our world. And my dream is that someday we will study the natural holistic ways to manage health and stay well. We will focus on wellness more than we focus on illness, so that hopefully our future will look like a world that is well rather than a world that is managing illness. And I think that we're still in a place where we are managing illness. And so all of the things that I've studied are in that direction of being well, returning to wellness, staying well. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the vibroacoustics. So picture number 4, Mike, is, nope, I'm sorry, picture number 5. If you could pull up picture number 5. Picture number 5 shows the sound beds, vibroacoustic sound lounges. And so what they are is ergonomic. That means that they flow with your body. When you lay on them, they match all the curves so that you can lay comfortably. And they have speakers attached underneath that also are attached to a headset to play music. The music, you know, through electronics, engineering, things that are very technical that somebody else set up, not me, the music tells the bed what type of vibration, the length, the strength, what type of vibration is needed to match the music tones, the frequencies. They call them hertz. So songs come in 36 hertz. They come in 100 hertz, 396 hertz. And those hertz of the music speak to our brain, change our brain patterns, or assist us with things. For example, without the sound lounge, you can go onto YouTube and you can pull up a song. If you put in the search bar, you can pull up a song that you possibly put in music frequencies for sleep. And when you play that music, it puts your brain in a state that calms the body down and puts you in a sleep state. You can put in the search bar music frequencies for healing a headache, music frequencies that can lower blood pressure. And believe it or not, there are scientists studying this daily. Harvard University, they're bringing things like this into hospitals. They're playing certain music for people who are going into surgery, and they are finding that the different types of frequencies that are played have positive effects on the body. And so at my center, we have vibroacoustic sound healing, and I want to read some of the results that the scientists are finding for vibroacoustics. They're saying it relieves stress, may alleviate headaches, improves focus, increases energy, relieves anxiety, decreases pain, boosts mood, releases tension, and helps with better sleep. It can promote, through a combination of sound frequency with vibration, can promote a general sense of well-being and relaxation. It can help with a variety of physical and mental illnesses, which include pain relief, improved joint flexibility, and improved mobility. With that said, again, I refer back to what I said in the beginning. Anybody with extreme issues in these are probably being seen by a medical professional, and it's important that you discuss the use of any of this with a medical professional. For example, if you have any type of electronic devices, a pacemaker, it may not be the best idea for you to utilize this, as it can change the frequency of a pacemaker. So check with your doctor, but sound healing is very, very well researched, and I encourage you to do some of your own research on it to see if it might be something that would benefit your health and your ability to stay away from the dis-ease or bring you back into the ease and benefit your wellness. The next thing we're going to talk about is something called a biomat. So, without moving around a lot, I'm going to put it on the table and talk about a biomat. So this biomat, this is the cover to the biomat. and I'm going to roll it back. And I hope that the camera or, the TV can show you that this mat has tubes that run across the mat. And there's clear spaces here so that you can see that in this mat, which is much like a heating pad, but I'm going to talk to you about the difference, is filled with amethyst crystals and stones called tourmaline. And so what happens when you use a biomat is this is plugged into the wall and has a temperature gauge. So you can set it on whatever temperature feels best for you. You can raise it up, you can lower it. The mat heats up. And what happens when the mat heats up? These tourmaline and amethyst crystals also heat up, and rather than just having a heating pad that does surface level heat or maybe just under the surface level heat, this will push infrared heat, deep level healing into the cells and deep into the tissues. So I'm going to read for you some of the benefits of a biomat. The biomat offers a deeply immersive healing experience using far infrared heat, which penetrates the tissues and enhances cellular health and recovery. The biomat is healing technology, and the negative ions along with the amethyst crystals, again, what I said before was they enhance the therapeutic effect by going deep into the cells. And it's important to know this isn't just a, something that is great to lay on like a heating mat would be. This is an FDA certified medical device, and many insurance companies are covering the use of this. And so to have one at home, it's a couple $1,000, but we do have one at our center that you can come in and you can try. I'll talk about the location of my center later, and I'm happy to have you come in and do a trial run on it and see if you think that it will work for you. I will be talking about all of the things that these products have helped me with at the end, because I would never put my word behind or my education and out there for a product that I hadn't used and received benefit from. And so you can personalize it again by raising and lowering the temperature. At my center, I have this biomat on top of a vibroacoustic sound lounge. And so now you're getting triple benefits. You have the frequency and the vibration moving through the table, the music being played through a headset, the vibration really shaking up the system, pushing through the crystals and the tourmaline and enticing your cells to detox things, whether they are toxins from food or toxins deep in your cells from emotions. What they're doing is they're enticing your body to release them and let them go. And I'm sure many of you have heard about detoxing. This is how we stay in a healthy place. This is how we remain in ease rather than dis-ease. This is how we return to wellness, by paying attention and finding the things we need to do daily. So you go out and you buy a car. That car is a vehicle that needs maintenance, right? It needs oil changes along the way. You need to change the brakes. Sometimes it needs a tune-up. You need a professional to give you advice about how to keep that car running smoothly. Well, your body is a vehicle, and it's what allows you to move freely through the world. And if you don't take care of that vehicle, if you don't give it the tune-ups that it needs, which detox is one of those things, if you don't pay attention to how to relieve the stress, how to relieve the emotions that you're storing in your cells, then we wind up in that dis-ease state, and that's when, over the period of years, we manifest things physically. And so I encourage you to either read up on this or come into my center and chat about it. I do free one-on-one chats with people just to find out what the best direction and to help you with your own self-care plan as you move through life. So the biomat is the second thing. We have the sound lounges and we have the biomat. And I'm going to reach over here and pick up this little device that just looks like a rubber mat. This is a mat that's called an earthing mat. Comes in all different sizes. This is a small one. It comes in a full-size, queen-size bed size, and this is an earthing blanket. So we're going to talk about earthing for a moment, and I'm going to tell you what I researched, things that you can easily do on your own. And the first thing when I heard about earthing, some of you may have heard about it, called grounding. This is a book written by, the author is Clint Ober, and I'm not going to talk about all of his research in the book, but I'm going to let you know that this book has everything, absolutely everything that you need to know about the healing benefits of earthing. In a nutshell, if we go back to when we first arrived on Earth, the planet itself was our healing. We walked around the planet in bare feet. We slept on the ground. We were constantly in nature. We didn't have big buildings and cities way back when. But we and basically what would happen is when you walked barefoot, your feet are like the roots of a tree. They would pull the magnetic frequency that's in the earth into the body, and it would automatically balance our positive and our negative ions. And so what happens with progress? Progress meant we designed shoes with soles that protected us from the earth. I guess that's some positive progress, but the negative was it disconnected us from the healing benefits of Mother Earth. And we most of us no longer sleep on the ground unless maybe we go camping and we sleep in a tent, and for a couple of nights we get the benefit of the earth helping us balance our system. And so, boy, that threw me off, I apologize. And so what this mat does is it plugs into the wall, into a grounded circuit, and it is attached to a little button on the mat. And when you put your feet on this, it balances the positive and the negative ions in your system. So what does that do for us? I will find my earthing benefits. It helps normalize the day and night cortisol rhythm in your body, which helps improve sleep, helps reduce and can reduce pain and stress. It helps us be more balanced and relaxed. It assists in the blood viscosity, the thickness of your blood, and improves blood flow. And so if your blood pressure is high, and again, I'm not saying come off blood pressure medicine, but this mat and using things like this can improve the viscosity, which then improves the blood flow and lowers blood pressure. It improves relaxation, speeds up wound healing, and reduces fatigue. You would never imagine that a mat this little could do all those things. So how do you use this? In addition to designing shoes that block us from the earth, we sleep on beds that are raised and disconnect us from the earth. We built houses with cement foundations that don't allow the healing benefits of the earth to move through. It's not a natural substance, and so it won't penetrate the the sidewalks and the roads. And so these mats are designed to either go underneath our desk at work. We could put our feet on it. You're behind a desk. Nobody knows you're in your socks or your bare feet, because you need to take your shoes off. You can put it at the bottom of your bed, and people have done that because if you're having trouble falling asleep, if you're having trouble staying asleep, if you wake up in the middle of the night, people tell me all the time, oh, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm up for 2 hours and I can't fall back to sleep. Well, Clint Ober did all the research for us that when we put this at the bottom of our bed and our feet are touching it throughout the night, we get our 8 or 9 hours of balancing the system, and people are finding miraculous changes in their sleep patterns. There is also a movie, and you could pull it up and stream it, and it's the same author. It's a documentary called Earthing. I recommend that you read the book first if you're a reader. I think that there is an audio book as well, because it explains so much and helps you move through. Documentaries can be, slow moving, and it helps you move through the documentary and gives you a lot of the science that we don't have time to talk about today. There's one other book, and the author is Elizabeth Hoekstra, and it's spelled Hoekstra, and it's called The Mother Earth Effect. So it's the same kind of thing as earthing, but this book has stories of people who have used the mats for a variety of different reasons, and they tell you the miraculous health benefits that they have had. So especially if you're struggling with a lot of fatigue, if you're struggling with a lot of inflammation, this is one of the things that will really, really benefit you. And I said that I would talk a little bit about how it's benefited me. I was one of those people who couldn't fall asleep, couldn't stay asleep. And when I read this, I said, okay, why not give it a try? The smaller ones you can purchase in a little kit on Amazon for under $40, and then you can buy big kits that have it all, that have the bed sheet. This is a blanket that has fibers running through it, so if you're watching TV, if you're sitting in a chair reading a book, you can plug this into the wall, and the negative and positive ions will flow through the blanket and balance in your system and create the same effect. So that is probably number 3 or 4 of the different types of things that you can either come into the center and try or use at home. So the other thing is called sound healing, and many people, if you scroll through Facebook, I'm sure you've had this pop up. People are doing things called sound baths, crystal bowls, singing classes. We do have some at our center. We run something that deals with sound bowls at least once a month, and we also have what's called spa time, where you can come in and play these on your own. Now this is called a Tibetan bowl. Every bowl is a different size, and the different sizes have different notes. Every note speaks to something in your system. And so what happens is you can use them as chimes, or if you roll this little padded rubber mallet around it. I'm going to stop talking for a minute. Hopefully you can hear that on your television or computer. The more you play it, the louder it gets. And when you go to a sound healing class, there's multiple bowls out. And so the person playing the bowls will go from this bowl to this bowl, and it becomes like an orchestra of different notes. All of those notes speak to your system, helping you relax, sometimes fall asleep, and healing occurs. A class is generally about 45 minutes to an hour long. You could sit in a really comfy chair provided, or lay on a yoga mat, and this is excellent for relaxation. I I read the benefits of sound healing, so all of those benefits I read in the beginning, the relaxation, the focus, de-stress, releasing toxins from your system, this is one of those things that does this as well. And the difference between a Tibetan bowl and one of these bowls is that this bowl, I don't know if it's going to work on here, but this is a bowl made from quartz crystal. Crystal is a wonderful conductor. That's why we use it in computers and in watches. And so it sounds like this. And this is called an F sharp. It's a heart bowl. And we call it a singing bowl because it's singing to you right now. And again, when you have a class that is a sound healing class, there'll be, I've been to crystal bowl healings that have up to 20 bowls, and the people that play them are amazing. I use them individually in healing sessions. But I have a number of people and have gone to a number of centers that have people who are professional bowl players. So, Mike, can you please pull up the picture that talks about singing? So we talked about singing bowls, but lastly we're going to talk about just the sound of music. And I'm going to read to you something that was an article about from Harvard University. This little note was a Facebook post that I did, and it said, singing daily for at least 10 minutes reduces stress, clears the sinuses, improves posture because we have to stand tall in order to take a breath to project the music, and can even help you live longer. And so in order for you to see that that wasn't just something that was made up, I will read this little blurb from this article to you. It says, according to research done by Harvard Medical School, music can have a myriad of positive effects on the brain, from keeping people relaxed during medical procedures to improving exercise endurance. In short, when you're feeling blue, a happy song can work wonders, infusing joy into your day. As the world news continues its pessimistic trajectory, and I'm sure everybody would agree about that, we're all working hard to keep our outlook cheery. So to keep wellness in our life, we have to keep that happiness and relieve that stress. With all the anxiety and stress we're facing on a daily basis, one of the things we should regularly prioritize is our happiness. And to me, that means our joy, and that means our wellness. But let's face it, sometimes we could use a little help in this department. Our recommendation, I have, and I'm going to save them till the end of the show, which will be shortly, 6 happiness songs that Harvard University recommended for you to either sing in the shower, sing in the car, sing on a walk, to help with your wellness. And before we do that, I'm looking for my little notes here. I'm going to just do some easy tips, 2 easy tips for at-home self-care. If you, and I'll give you my website at the end of this, but if you are looking for more self-care tips, the month of June was Wellness Awareness Month. And so one of the things that I did was every day of the month I put a self-care tip on there. Some are for adults, some are for children, some are for kids on the spectrum, but I'm sure you can find multiple ones. By the end of the month, I wanted everybody to have a toolkit of things they could do at home. So 2 of them are just breathing. The first one is breathing. We do not realize that we shallow breathe and we go through the day and we don't think about bringing oxygen into our system. And so we have to consciously stop every once in a while and release the tension that's building up from our day. And that tension can build up even when we're doing fun, happy things. And so day one on my calendar, the self-care tip was breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and let go for a count of 4. And so if you're watching, you could do this with me, but I'll just take a minute to demonstrate. And I'm going to use my fingers for the counts because you can't breathe in and count at the same time. So if I were running a class, I would ask everybody to bring their arms up as they breathe in, hold for 4, and then release all of the oxygen and breath left in your lungs to empty fully your lungs to a count of 4. So it would look like this, and you can do it with me. Ready? Go. And you could just be driving your car and realize that your shoulders are filled with tension from all the chaos going on the roads. And so you're driving and you just can go, oh, I think I need a breath. And if you don't feel comfortable holding your breath, maybe your passenger can hold their breath, you can just take a moment to just do a big breath in and a big release out. So that's an easy self-care tip number 1. The second tip to continue to think about wellness is called gratitude. Part of gratitude is we can get caught up in everything that is not going the way we want it to go in life. And when we focus mentally on that, we fall into that state of dis-ease that we talked about in the beginning. So either starting your day or ending your day or stopping at some point, and you might want to journal it, write it down, or you just might want to say in your own mind a number of things, 1, 2, 3, or 4 things that you are grateful for. It could be a person. It could just be, I'm grateful for the breath that I'm still able to take today. I am grateful that it is sunny and it makes me feel joyful. If it's raining, you could be grateful that the rain is providing water for the flowers or whatever. And if you need a visual, what I recommend is that you find a picture that helps you feel grateful, that helps you feel joy. And I'll tell you a little story about how I named my center. My center is called Pure Joy. And after I received my PhD, I tried to find a name for what I wanted to call my center. And I thought, ocean waves, wellness, ocean waves healing, health and wellness. And I was getting myself frustrated because I couldn't come up with a name that seemed to fit what I thought picture of wellness looked like. So I just stopped and I got up and I went to make a cup of tea, and I passed a picture, and the picture was of my 4 adult daughters. And it stopped me for a moment. And I looked at the picture and I went, oh, those girls are pure joy. And they bring pure joy into my life. And with that, the hit was like, wait, that's it. That's the name of my business. And to me, that is what wellness is. When you are in ease, when you are in harmony, you are in pure joy. And so just having a picture to remind you of the things around that make you happy and keep you well, keep you in that mental state of wellness are what's important. And so if you have questions, you can email me. I am going to, if you want to take a minute, you can get a pen and pencil, because I'm going to also give you the 6 happy songs. So hopefully you can hear me as I'm talking, or you can rewind this and replay the name of my center. I don't know, Mike, maybe you could put the Pure Joy. Oh, you have it up. Great. Pure Joy Holistic Health and Wellness. The phone number is 732-930-6108, and that's a mobile phone that you can text with any question that you have, or you can send an email to purejoyhhw@gmail.com. The HHW stands for Holistic Health and Wellness. So you can email any questions, and I am happy to get back to you or find an answer to any question that you might have to help you address your self-care protocol. So here come, are you ready? I hope you have your pen and pencil. Here are the 6 songs from the Harvard University study. The first one is Happy by Pharrell Williams. P-H-A-R-R-E-L-L is how you spell Pharrell. Happy. Pharrell Williams is who sings that song. The second one is Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and that's a little sexist, so I hope that even guys that just want to have fun replace the word girls and play that song and sing along. Number 3 is Walking on Sunshine, Katrina and the Waves. Number 4 is I Feel Good by James Brown. And number 5 is going to make you want to step outside, so you might want to listen to this as you're taking your walk in the sun. It's Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And so take your walk, get some sunshine, a little vitamin D, sit outside for a short period of time in the sun, and sing along with this song. And the last one is Don't Worry, Be Happy. Lots of people sing this, but they recommended the one by Bobby McFerrin, F-E-R-R-I-N, because when we release worry, and maybe one day we'll do a show that talks about different ways to release that, because there's lots of fun games that you can play to release worry and be happy, so that you stay in a state, I'm looking for my sign, I can't find it, that is a state of ease, not a state of dis-ease. So I hope today you found one tip that will help you be happy and be well. Again, my name is Lori Tomenchok, and it's been a pleasure to chat with you on this little educational show today. Have a beautiful day.